This is Common Criminal Podcast. I am your host, Vince Polson, and today we're introducing Chuck Smith, aka Chuck Nasty of GRYSCL. Say hi to the folks, Chuck.
How you doing?
So, Chuck, how did you link up with GRYSCL? I know you said that there's Max, and then your dude Link. How do you guys know each other?
Well, honestly, I adjusted my mic a little bit. Maybe that'll help Bill a bit. So I went to Prince George High School. At that time, I was we have the whole background. I met some guys like really early on, TC, Top Cat, and C Dub Money. They had like a group called PME and Front Money Squad. So they kind of like introduced me to recording and things of that nature. I got in trouble. My mom would let me go outside, so I was no longer able to record with them. So I had to start kind of doing my own thing. And I didn't used to go by Chuck Nasty, I went by Big Uzi. So I was doing my own music, and I put out a mixtape. It didn't really ring off because it was like angsty and emo as fuck. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to rebrand. And people started, I got my name Chuck because I wore Chuck Taylors all the time. And that evolved into Chuck Diesel, Chuck Liddell, Chuck Liddell. Everybody started calling me Chuck Nasty in ninth grade. So I kind of made that my rap name, and then I made a new tape called Moleskin Music Done with the Games. I listened to a lot of J Electronica at the time, so I was very inspired by the whole Moleskin thing. I did that. I went to college. When I went to college, everybody at Richmond College knew me as Chuck Nasty, knew my music and everything because I had a couple friends that went there and they told everybody about me. And, I'm sitting there, everybody knows me. I'm like, damn, that's kind of crazy. And the next thing you know, Braden, a guy named Braden Schmelz, Braden was like, hey, I make beats. Like, if you want to, you know what I'm saying, check out my beats. So I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was just like anybody, sending me anything. So then I was like, you know what, let me go check it out because my guy, Matt Blue, he told me about it because I met him through a girl, Sarah Gray. Give me a lot of background information. But then I checked out his beats and I heard something I liked. And I was like, ooh, I'm like, yo, you mind if I get this? He's like, yeah, sure. And then we made a song called Cheddar Cheese because I was working on a mixtape called Top Ramen, the whole college ramen noodles thing. So I made that. He loved it. And then he was like, yo, you didn't even want things you're interested in? So I was like, yo, how about we just make a group? And he was like, yeah, I'm with it. Because like he and Cam ain't shit. He used to be in GRYSCL. We kind of took a hiatus. So it was Braden. He went by Braytoven. Then he went by Fat Elvis. So it was Fat Elvis and Cam ain't shit, and it was me, and we were GRYSCL. Because he was like, what are we gonna name it? And I was like, I always wanted to name something called Gray. And I was like, I don't know if I want to go by Gray or GRYSCL. Because like I felt like Gray is a concept that I could expand on a whole lot. So we kind of made GRYSCL. So we did that. I put out a song called Spaced Out. I got like my first internet like write up from it. Then we put out like a compilation tape called Just GRYSCL, and that's before before it was spelled the way it is now. And we had people from Illmont. Illmont is this hip hop collective in Atlanta, and Sith Sick in the Head from PEMG Petroleum Empire Music Group up in Staten Island. Natho, he's in Sacramento, and like they all kind of featured on it, so it's kind of like a beat tape with like features over it. So after we did that, I kind of just kept going with it. I came up with another project called Podium. So that was the first thing as GRYSCL, like Chuck Nasty GRYSCL being Podium. And that was the first time I ever got a bunch of notoriety because I put it out on Twitter. I've been teasing about it and like saying, oh, it's about to come out. Oh, hold on, I got to push it back. It's about to come out. I put the tape out, and for the first time in my life, it didn't get like 1 million downloads or something, but I put it out on Christmas at midnight. And it got 236 downloads in 5 minutes.
Damn.
And this was the midnight at Christmas. So clearly the only way people could have found out about it is just through me talking about it on Twitter and just everybody from Prince George in college. So I was like, whoa. So it was kind of like my first time me being like, yo, like, that's crazy.
You might have something.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that is wild. So like I kept going on with that. Next thing you know, a guy, Black Liquid, put us on for our first show. I performed there. I got my best friend Max to come with me. Max is making music, but he was kind of feeling funny about it. So I was like, yo, you trying to join GRYSCL? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I felt like he needed to be re-inspired. So I let him join, and then he came in there, and then we had a whole bunch of other people, which I will not name drop them because fuck them because they weren't doing anything anyway. And we kind of kept going from there. And next thing you know, we're doing like a show a week in Richmond all the time. And recently, like we became Charlottesville, got this event called Nine Pillars, and we're the tag team champions of Charlottesville. So we literally have championship belts that belong to Charlottesville, and we won twice a row in that. And the rest is history. It's just momentum, momentum, momentum. So we're gonna see where it goes.
Yeah, man, I saw your Facebook page, all you guys holding all your belts. I thought that was pretty cool.
The belt is badass.
And, I'm glad that you said the thing about frequency, like, as far as doing a show a week, because that's something I think is, like, seriously, seriously lost on tons of people, that
Facts.
they, like, get it in their mind, like, "Oh, yeah, I'm doing this thing," like, 2 weekends out of the month, me and my buddies, it's like, "No, not 2 fucking weekends." Like,
Mm-hmm.
you look at, like, real pros, they're talking like, professional comedians talk about doing 5, 6 sets every week, like, doing
Yeah.
3 sets on a Friday night. And
Yeah.
then and then going out there, if you're in Richmond, unfortunately, there's only so many venues, and it's Virginia, so we're only open till 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, in reality, you can really only do like 2 shows a week, but yeah, you gotta stay out there and like to keep people's attention. And I mean, it's crazy. Like another friend of mine, he's got a band down in Richmond, and yeah, they're playing every Friday and Saturday. And
Mm-hmm.
before that, he was a cook, like he was chefing in different restaurants down there. And now he's like, yeah, I'm just like, I think now he's doing like some coffee shop gig or something. So that way he can have his Fridays and Saturdays freed up because they are playing if they don't have a gig at a venue, they're playing a show and hosting a party at their house.
And people don't understand. And it's like, I'm gonna go ahead, like, like we were talking about in pre-production, I'm gonna go ahead and talk my shit real quick. Like, now look, I'm not gonna say that it's a guaranteed show every single week, but there have been times where we had 2 shows a week back to back to back. And when I say this, it's not the frequency of shows that I want to highlight. It's the fact that when I tell you that we don't do anything to get booked for these shows, I mean, we don't do anything. I mean, the first time I did a show, like, it was just me and I had Max on there, and then it finally became Gracie. The first time I did a show, I got invited to another one. Every single time we do a show, somebody comes up and books us for another show, and that's what we do. Like there's a lot of people in the city. I love a lot of people in the city. I'm not gonna name drop y'all, sorry, but there's a lot of people in the city do a lot of really, really great things, and there's a lot of egos and things like that in the city. And it's like, sure, we got things we got to work on. We got to do more on our visuals. We got to have music videos out there. But I'm telling you, I just don't think anybody does as many shows as we do, and we do it. And we get these booked in these shows strictly based off of our performance. We perform, and people want us to do something else. We ended up getting on a radio station this year, and like had our first. We actually perform. Now, I'm not even talking about like, oh, they spun my music on the radio. Like, nah, like they had me and Max go in there and perform a set. So I don't know, has anybody else performed a set on the radio? Because we perform on the radio too. Like, and this is all through just performing, like, you know what I'm saying, going out there and doing what we do best. And it's like, that's what I take a lot of pride in. Like, no ego, no nothing. We show and prove. I can show you better than I can tell you, basically. And we got more things to work on, but it's like people don't understand. Whatever, some people maybe it may not be performing. Maybe performing it may not be the thing. Maybe you don't get booked a lot. Maybe you do really good music videos. But whatever you do, if you do that and it rings off and that's what's rolling, you got to keep the ball rolling with that and put 100% of everything on that stage when you do it, or 100% of everything in that video when you do it, or make sure you push that single you got. You got to double down and really put all your time and energy in whatever actually impacts your like community and your fan base.
No, I feel you, man. I mean, it's awesome to hear you're out here doing something. You obviously give a shit about it. Like, I mean,
A
I've
lot.
seen your videos. I've loved the sound of your guys' music, the amount of energy that you're bringing, and that's something I really appreciate about live music. I could see a bluegrass band live personally and have a
Mm-hmm.
good time if they look like they're putting the energy into it.
Oh yeah.
But no, your music is definitely I mean, it gets me pumped up. It makes me want to work out. Like, and I
Yeah.
mean, I'm out here. I go running probably every single day. I lift weights in the gym probably 3-4 times a week because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I've lost like I think 30 almost 40 pounds this year, close to.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
proud
I
of
let
you.
myself go. I had 40 pounds to lose. Yeah, no, I packed it on so that way I could get it off again.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
but but yeah, man. I mean, it's good to like the dedication. I think is lost on a lot of people. Like as far as the amount of energy it takes to like really succeed in something,
Hmm.
because like you people get successful in their careers because they're paid to do that thing for like 8, 9, 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
But when it comes to stuff that you got to do for yourself, I think a lot of people kind of forget that like you got to do it for more than 2 hours when you get home. Like you got to stay on it. And like I mean, I see the shit you put on Facebook, man. You are living in the gym recently. Like you went 2 times the other day, like legs and arms, right?
I did legs and back intensity in the morning, and then I did chest and shoulders when I got off work. I had to make up for lost time because the day before I didn't. My biggest problem is sleeping. I didn't get enough sleep, and sleep is more important. Recovery is like 70% of working out and losing weight is the recovery. The sleep, the rest of the recovery. 30% of it will probably be in the gym. That's a very skewed like percentage, but it's just that important. And because I lost that time, I was like, okay, I'm gonna sleep really well. I slept like 10, 11 hours. So I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the gym twice. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and do it twice because you gotta similar with the music and with the working out thing, and I'm gonna get my whole spiel on that, but I'm gonna keep on letting you throw me some alley-oops. But you got to keep doing it. Like when I first started doing the music thing, I would put out my music on YouTube. I was recording it on my mom's couch. I had like a little $80 condenser USB mic, rapping into the couch, kind of had some kind of like reflection filter. I was doing that and I would put it out and nobody would like it, but I kept doing it and I kept doing it and I kept doing it and it built up. Next thing you know, I always had to look for beats. I have producers now that make beats for me. I know how to produce as well. I always wanted to find somebody to engineer. I put the time in, I learned to engineer. The same thing that goes to working out. Like you gotta stick to it. It's nothing happens in one day, and the longer you do it, the more you're gonna see from it. You can't stop at any given point. And like how you were saying, like you saw on Facebook me living in the gym. Like the reason why I did that is because originally I was like, okay, I lost weight before doing cardio. I like could never do cardio. To tell the story, I'll get a whole story, background story. So I did some psychedelics. I came back home and I was watching some pornography, and I was like, it's not even necessarily that I was trying to, get money. I was just like, let me just watch it. And I watched this video of this chick, Brandy Love. Y'all know her, y'all know what I'm talking about. So she's like cut like a motherfucking pizza. And I'm like, damn, like it's beautiful. Not even just that it gets me horny, it's just beautiful. And I'm like, it's just muscle. And I'm like, everybody has muscle. And it's like, I go on myself, look in the mirror, and I'm like, damn, bro, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, I can look that great too if I actually put work and effort towards doing it. So I said, all right, man, tomorrow I'm about to go and try to run on that elliptical my mom got in the house. So went in there, I was like, I'm gonna try to run 10 minutes. I could barely run 5. So I ran 5, took a break, ran 5, kept doing that. I got up to 10 minutes. Next thing you know, got to 20 minutes. Next thing you know, I was running an hour and a half every single day. And I stopped. At the time I was working, I was delivering sushi and Chinese food. I started working at food line distribution, warehouse work in the freezer, negative 40-degree temperature, working 16 hours a day. So obviously at that point, I didn't have the energy to run an hour and a half and go do that at the same time. But I kept losing weight. And that was my first workout journey. And that journey, I went from 354 to 285 pounds. And that was a big, significant amount of weight loss. But I messed around and started working at the job I work at now, which is famous Jerry piano moving. I move about 6 to 12 pianos a day all across Virginia. I go inside of North Carolina, also inside of DC and Maryland. I move pianos everywhere. Like every college, like William and Mary, VCU, Virginia State, etc. Like I do that. And you ride around in the truck a lot all day and you got money in your pocket. So when you stop somewhere, you can literally buy whatever you want to. So it's just impulse. Messed around, I gained some weight back. I got back up to 325. And I was like, yeah, what the hell am I doing? Once I finally got a scale and I realized how much I weigh. So then I was like, I'm about to embark on a second weight loss journey. And this time I'm going to do it through building muscle and getting more fit and not just cardio. I was like, I'm just going to straight lift. And then later on, first it was just about strength. Then it was about hypertrophy. Then it was about me learning how to program, me looking into guys like me being inspired by guys like Brian Shaw, 4-time world's strongest man, Martins Licis, he just won world's strongest man for the first time recently, Athlean X, Brian Alsrue, Eric Bugenhagen, things of that nature. Just learning a lot of different Jeff Nippert, like learning a lot of different things that teach me what I need to do to not only lose weight but develop muscle in a proper way, like in a bodybuilding type format. And I went from 325 pounds to right now I'm 258 pounds. And my goal for this in the first place is I just wanted to be 285. I wanted to go from wearing a 3XL to an XL shirt and wanted to be able to do a pull up. Now I can't do a set of 10 pull-ups, but I can do 5 now, whereas I couldn't do one to save my life before. And also, I'm less than 285. I'm 258 right now. Like my goal this year, I made a bet with somebody that I would get down to 270. I'm 258. You know what I'm saying? Like I kept it going, and it's like it's a momentum, and everything I'm doing. I like to bring it back to the beginning. I posted on Facebook, fresh out the gym, blah blah, fresh out the gym, blah blah. I kept doing that. More and more people started noticing. Started talking about the weight loss. More and more people started noticing the diet, and more and more people started noticing like me doing the pull-ups. Now I'm at a point in my life where it's like most dudes, what do? You know, they thirsty after girls. They want to get with a girl. They want to have clout. They want to have all this. I don't do nothing but try to elevate and develop myself and become a better person, a better man, a better physical body. And I have like the bad bitches that dudes want, like they talk to me about weight loss. Like I'm not out here just trying to get girls. Like I'm talking to them about weight loss and like positivity and things you need to do to diet. Like I'm actually blessed to be in a position now to where I can actually influence people, and like people really, really, really are inspired by me now at this point. And like people are really like flabbergasted, and it's making them want to get up and make the change too. And I'm glad to help them make the change because I didn't know that I could do it. And me doing it and letting the world know what I've done, let them know that they can do it too. So, you know, now I'm not only just a rapper, now I'm like a weight loss influencer guy. But how did I get to this point? How did I get to the point where I was doing a show every week? How did I get to a point where I'm got people DMing me and I'm going to the gym with people? I'm starting people off, programming, telling them things about diet and things like that. It all started with trying. You can't sit around and think about, oh, when am I going to do this? Just do it. And you can't expect, okay, I'm going to put this song out. I didn't get 1,000 plays. What's the point? Dog, you gotta keep doing it. I went to the gym for a month. I didn't lose any weight. It takes more than a month to lose weight. You gotta keep doing it, and everything I've gotten is just for me doing it. It's not that I'm important or special. I got a different perspective on it. I'm my own kind of person, whatever. The same thing I was talking about with the meme page and things like that. It started off with me just making memes here and there. Now I become a meme. Like I'm like it's like slut chuck memes where I put up booty pics. Cause I'm like, yo, girls get clout from doing booty pics. I'm about to take their trap. So I took their trap over. And now I'm the booty guy. And now people make memes putting my face on people with big butts and things like that. And that started becoming a thing. And I made a Facebook group, Meme Thieves Guild Posting, which is based off of the Elder Scrolls Oblivion Meme Thieves Guild. And now we got like 500 members. And then people said they wanted to do darker content. I got another one called the Dark Brotherhood DLC Posting. That's a darker level of content. And people literally are getting banned from Facebook from sharing memes in my guild. So I have a Discord to where people can post memes. If they get blocked off Facebook, there's another meme group. You know what I'm saying? And how did it all start? By just doing it. You just got to do it and keep doing it.
I'm gonna be honest when like because I mean obviously I heard about you through Brandon, and so Brandon was like, you know, you gotta look up my dude Chuck. Like I've been going to his shows. He's like I've gone to some of his shows by myself because I'm really into his music, and if I can't find somebody to go with me, I know I'm gonna still have a good time by myself. So he encouraged me to check out your page because you know I talk about weight loss on the show and stuff, and so he was like, you know, you might kind of vibe with this guy. You should definitely check it out. And I'm gonna be honest, I like before listening to any of your music, obviously I laughed my fucking ass off at some of these memes. Like the like what was the one the other day? If y'all cared as much about your actual life as you did about your sex life, your actual life might not be falling apart.
Exactly,
Dude,
bro.
I fucking lost it because I mean for real, that's how it is. Like I mean, thank God. I mean, I've got a girlfriend I love very, very much. She's super supportive of me, which makes it really easy for me to succeed at the things I put my mind to because I'm not distracted by all this bullshit. People see
Mm-hmm.
like it's crazy to me. Dudes will like be totally on track to succeed with something, and some hot thing in a red dress will walk by, and their whole fucking life will just fall
They'll
apart.
throw
It
it
is
all away.
exactly, and they'll just miss one after another because they're constantly chasing some shit that is so temporary. Uh,
And for what?
for
Like
what?
it's like
For like,
it's just like, bro, we are human beings, bro. Like people have sex every day. People get with each other every day. It's not that serious. Like, and the thing about people don't have like a because I started getting back and forth inside the comments. I don't know if you saw the skirmishes going on, but one guy in there, and I ain't throwing him under the bus. That's my guy, you know. So ain't no shade to him, but I got to use his comment as an example to explain something. And he was saying, well, I feel like your sex life is an important part of your mental health. So isn't focusing on yourself like a good thing because it is your actual life? And I told him, I said, no. Your sex life has nothing to do with your mental health. The only reason why your sex life affects your mental health is because you don't have your self-esteem right. And if you
right.
get your self-esteem right, you wouldn't need sex to be helping you feel like anything. And it's like it's not really that big of a deal. People make that their focus because they don't have anything else right. It's a distraction. You
Well,
ain't got nothing else in your life right, so I'm gonna just chase cheeks. And where does it lead you? Nowhere.
I think part of the problem is that people see, like, when they think about somebody with a, I mean, you could say healthy sex life, or you could just say it's somebody having a lot of sex, depending on how you look at it. But they
Mm-hmm.
look at those people that are constantly getting the baddest girls and constantly, like, they always have like a hot girlfriend, always a new girl for every new event. Like, it's a different fucking dress or something. But those dudes, they look at those guys and they say, oh, they've got a ton of self confidence and they keep getting these girls. That's why they have the self confidence. In reality, it's the other way around. They are getting the
That
girls because they have the self
self
confidence without it.
confidence.
And
Exactly.
the guys who try the hardest to get girls are always the ones trying and never the ones getting. The people, it seems
Facts.
like the ones who just focus on doing their own shit, like they'll always have the best girls because they're constantly getting to choose. And it's
Exactly.
yeah, I mean it's a crazy thing. It seems super lost on people. But no, what I was saying before was it was definitely the weight loss thing was what I saw that I was like it really vibed with me personally cuz I mean it was the beginning of this year was I know it was probably around shit January, February. I just remember I got it in my head that I was like dude, like my family's got a history of heart problems. I got to start losing some weight. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and so then that was like I just remembered like I used to run cross country. Like I mean I could
Mm-hmm.
do 100 sit-ups without breaking a sweat. I could do 20 pull-ups, no problem. Like I used to run for fun. Like we'd go down to the rock quarry and just run around. And then
Yeah.
I'm got up to like 255 and I just remember like looking at myself in the mirror and just being like, dude, like if I don't start running now, I'm going to be literally running for my life later
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to be me trying to get off of heart medicine or, trying to like be able to still move around. And I just remember like I had to go clothes shopping and I got a pair of pants that I really liked. It was a pair of purple chinos and I was
Mm-hmm.
wearing them. And I remember like being so happy I bought myself some clothes because I had some addiction issues after I solved that problem in my life. And then I got myself some fresh clothes and I saw myself wearing these purple pants and this shirt that my girlfriend got me. And the shirt, despite being it was like an XL or a 2X, and it still felt a little tight on me in like the man tit region.
Mm-hmm.
And then looking at those purple pants, and I remember looking at myself in the mirror and thinking like, people aren't going to look at me and think that I'm dressing like a person who I decide how I dress and this is what I want to look like. People are going to
Mm-hmm.
look at me and think, oh, that guy doesn't give a fuck about what he looks like. That's why he wears purple pants. And I remember thinking, like, I want people to look at me and be like, damn, he made his own style. Not people look at me and think like, damn, he doesn't give a fuck what people think about him.
Yeah.
Because I
Facts.
definitely do. I'm one vain piece of shit sometimes. And for me, that was the motivation to like work out and take care of myself because I felt like I had a life worth really taking care of. And I mean,
I
dude,
understand that.
those gym pics that you put up, you are fucking jacked now, dude.
I'm getting
Like,
jacked, bro.
like
Jacked and stacked.
that's got to be like what 22-inch biceps. Like this thing's got to be monsters,
I
like
measured
cannons.
last time I measured them to 19. Like now I'm saying, and to let everybody know, I still got man boobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I lost 82 fucking pounds. So it's like, what are you gonna say? You know what I'm saying? Like your chest flat as shit, but how much weight have you gained? You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'm putting myself out there, and I do that to show, because there are other people like me that got man boobs, and they're like, yo, there's no way I can lose it. You know what I'm saying? There's no way I'm gonna like get better. There's no way I can trim everything up. And I'm trimming everything up. But it's like when you got a problem spot, that's just where it's gonna be until you get all the way where you got to be. But keep on following me, keep on the journey. You can see my chest flatten out, and I'm gonna show people, yo, you can do it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it's like it's amazing the transformation things that happen. And it's like it's to the point now where it's like I used to be so I remember the day I first put up a shirtless picture. I was in that joint. I started getting kind of like jacked. I can go back to it, and I was like, I took the picture, and I was like, I was really feeling myself that day, and I was like, man, I might put the picture up. So then my best friend, like I live with him, Max, you know, he's in GRYSCL. He came home and like, yo, you think I should put this picture up? You think it's gonna ring off? And he was like, yeah, yo, you know what I'm saying? You look at a cut in that joint. Go ahead and get that joint. Then my little brother came over, and my little brother Joe, Schmo, Hollywood Schmo, he raps as well, but he's need to put some more music out. So I showed him that joint. He's like, yeah, go ahead and do it. So I put it up, and then everybody, to my surprise, nobody was like, it's not like I didn't get no likes, no comments. Everybody's like, oh damn, you got titties. Like, what the fuck going on? Everybody was like, yo, you fucking getting jacked. Like, yo, you getting fucking buff. Like, holy shit, your chest muscles are coming in. I'm like, and that showed me that day, and that taught me a lot about confidence, bro. It's all in your head. Like it's so all in your head. And the best thing, here's the thing about strengths and weaknesses. Shout out to Mark Bell. Strengths never weakness. Weakness is never a strength. I don't know about weakness is never a strength, because you cannot have, the best way to get rid of a weakness is to get in front of it. So the best way for me to make sure I don't have to feel insecure about anything for me was me to put the thing I'm most insecure out. And that's my fucking boobs. You know what I'm saying? I put that shit out there. And I put it out there, and nobody was like, yo, you got boobs. Oh, yo, what the fuck? Like, nobody ever tells me I got boobs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, back in the day, maybe when somebody flick it, you know what I'm saying, flick a titty or whatever. But like now, they look at everything else, and they're just like, nah, it's basically like a chest gut. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to lose that a little bit more. But nobody looks at it like I got man boobs. I put myself out there, and now I have no reason at all to feel insecure for any reason about my chest and my body. And it created a self-confidence that's ridiculous. That's the reason why, like, if y'all follow me on Instagram, bro, you can see some wild stuff on there. You can see some funny stuff. You can see some music, but you can see a whole lot of booty pics. You can see a whole lot of side boob. You know what I'm saying? You can see a whole lot of likes and a whole lot of support underneath it, because I'm showing people that you can actually embrace yourself. So I'm kind of trying to become like a totem of body positivity, where it's like, I didn't like how I looked, so I decided to start changing it. And I don't look at myself now as like, oh man, I still got boobs. It's like, nah, bro, my bicep wasn't this big a couple months ago. My shoulder, my side delt was lacking last year. Last year, my front delts were too big. Like I'm looking at everything but that now. And there's so many other things that you can look at about yourself. There's no need to focus on the insecurities. Look at your strengths, not your weaknesses. And if you got a weakness, put yourself out there. So then next thing you know, it won't become a weakness anymore. You got control over it. What can anybody say about you if you put your weakness out there before they do? What can they say?
Right.
Nothing.
And I mean, that's the other thing too. And one thing I think a lot of people kind of something a lot of people overlook, especially with social media culture, because we get this Instagram effect where we all think that our lives have to be perfect because we only ever see the most perfect part of our friends' lives.
Highlight reel.
Right, exactly. We see the highlight reel. That's a perfect way to put it. But another thing that people kind of forget about too is when somebody does put themselves out there and they put up a picture. If it's a girl, they're in a bikini, and they might be in coming out of spring shape, and pretty much nobody's gonna be like, wow, you got to lose the gut. Guys or girls, pretty much nobody goes out there and says that shit. And when they do, like when you see that, like you'll see it on like celebrity pages because people want to hate on celebrities because they're sad and lonely. But when you see that on like a personal friend of yours, like if you see somebody like hating on your friend and you see that, when you see that person who's hating on some physical, like really, really shallow shit, you rarely ever like, oh shit, yeah, that guy does need to lose his man boobs. No, the initial reaction from pretty much any reasonable person is going to look at that person making that comment and think like, wow, what a sad fucking life that person must have. Like they're so afraid.
Let me pick an alley-oop. I got a direct example of this. So boom. Oh, this is funny too. So I'm at work. I move pianos for a living. I move pianos up and down flights of stairs and across grass and out of basements 6 to 12 times a day. And I do this usually off like 4 hours of sleep. And I go to the gym for an hour and a half after that, and I work out and I do cardio for like 30 minutes too. I do this Monday through Friday. On the weekends, I party. But I don't remember what I was in. I was in some kind of like chat or whatever, and a guy had commented on a picture. I had like a Superman shirt on. You know, my name Man Boost is busted. So he was like, "Oh, look at this dude with the man tits. Like, who the fuck is he to talk about anything?" Well, and then like it's crazy because all of my friends swarmed inside the comments and like, "Bro, who the fuck are you? Like what the fuck do you do?" And he's like, "Oh, y'all really gonna stick up with this beta male?" And I'm like, "Beta male?" I go to his Facebook. I'm like, "Nigga, you work at Subway. You sell sandwiches. This is what you do." I told him, I'm like, "This is what you do, bro. Like me and my mantis, right? When I have a long, hard day of doing masculine work, I go to a nigga like you and tell you to make me a sandwich. Extra cheese. Don't over toast my bread. Too much fucking mayo. What's wrong with you? Let me speak to the manager." That's what you do. Who are you calling a beta male? You know what I'm saying? And like I picked him all, and it's so funny because he thought he had it with the man boobs thing. He kept doing it like, "Bro, I lost 54 at the time. I lost 54 pounds. Bro, I lost 54 pounds. How much weight have you gained? Like what are you talking about?" It gets to a point when that's the thing about, to bring it back to what I was saying earlier with starting and doing something. Nobody can have anything over you, bro. Like when you know what you've done, nobody can say anything to you that's ever going to affect you because you know what you've done. You know the improvements you made, and you know that person is only telling you that shit because they make sandwiches.
Well,
They ain't got nothing else to do. They tired of making sandwiches for niggas that do more masculine work than they do, so they gonna hate. So it's like that's what people do.
when I was first like getting into the podcasting thing, and this was actually this is a workaround story sort of. But yeah, like when I first post, I remember the first one that I put up, I think got like 5 or 7 listens or something like that. I was so stoked. And like the
Oh
last
yeah.
episode I put up with Brandon was like, it was like 90 views. I mean, I was pretty happy with that. And as far as the Facebook shows you viewer retention, there's a decent number of people actually watching, which is pretty cool. But
Oh
but
yeah.
when I first like when I was first like getting it started, I was talking to my buddy Keenan, and he was, I mean, for a little while he was a mentor of mine. Like when I was getting in the car business, he became a really good friend of mine. But he did a little bit of rapping. He's done a couple music projects before. He's done some video projects. This guy's done a whole lot of digital media stuff. But when I told him I was trying to get in on the podcast like game, and I was asking him for like music and beats and stuff like that, and I remember Keenan said to me, he was like, "Man, just to let you know, since you've not done this kind of thing before, you're going to find that the people who hate on you the most and cut you down are going to be probably some of the people closest to you. Those are the people that are going to come out of the woodwork." And
Yeah.
the funny thing is, thankfully, I've already weeded a lot of dead weight out of my life. Getting
Should.
over addiction and stuff like that. I had to cut out a lot of people, a lot of negative influences. But it was funny because thankfully I haven't really gotten a lot of negative feedback. But the people who kind of have the most resistance about it, the people who could give a fuck less about it, oddly enough, I think back, I was like, huh, those were the people I used to waste a whole lot of time with in public bathrooms.
Yep.
And so thankfully I
Pause.
kind of weeded out a lot of those people before I got started on this business. But anymore, having that kind of perspective, when I see the negativity, like when I see it pop up, I feel sad because I realize that I used to kind of be that way, especially when I was down on myself. But then I also realized like those people are like probably sad, miserable, lonely, like, and have very little self-confidence and probably don't do anything they give a fuck about. Like they're not coming home from work and writing out their new comedy set. They're not like, they're not making beats and like trying to figure out like where their next show is going to be. They're not doing any of that. They're coming home, they're turning on Netflix, and they're completely shutting down until it's time to go to sleep.
Exactly. And some people, as disgusting as it is, some people really think it's like, bro, we're grown men and women or in between at this point. It's like, dog, that whole I'm gonna bag on somebody to elevate myself, that it doesn't work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you like it's not gonna work. One thing my best friend always says, and we both say this a lot, it's like, blocking my shine ain't gonna make your shine no brighter. Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna like you throwing shade on me ain't gonna make you any like cooler. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't like if you're hating on me or I hate to use the word hating because I cannot stand people say, a lot of people say they got haters, bro. And it's like, bro, you ain't doing enough to be hating to have haters. But people that sit back and like try to nitpick people to elevate themselves up, it don't work. And like that's the reason why like with a lot of people like I get in the back and forth. It's so funny because whenever somebody tries to get in the back and forth with me, they just look stupid when they try to do something to me because I'm like, what do you do? Because I'm not gonna sit there and go back and forth. I'm not gonna, hey man, my tits aren't that big. Hey man, I'm not doing that. I'm like, okay, so what do you do? Like, because I can tell you what I've done. I can tell you the things I've done. I can tell you type of messages that I get. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do? Like, what have you done? Like, and I started picking them apart. Like, bro, you've been working at the same job, selling these sandwiches. Like, it ain't promoted you to manager yet. They got you busting the floor, no extra time. No, you got a nickel raise every year. Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to really let people know what they're trying to escape from while they're trying to escape from it. It's like, bro, nah, not over here. Go pick on somebody that's stupid enough to fall for that because I know all that. I grew up like when I was a kid, I got picked on, I got bullied. You know what I'm saying? Like for being fat, ironically. And now at this point in my life, everybody looks up to me because of the weight I lost. Everybody likes the music. Everybody likes everything I do, and it's so crazy because I started off getting picked on all the time. My best friend is literally like one of the people, like the main people that used to pick on me, and it's so crazy because now that's my best friend. You know what I'm saying? Now like I inspire him, and like he inspires me, and we got this whole GRYSCL thing going together. It's like it's amazing how things flip, and I've learned how things can flip completely on their head. Where it's like now I see the glitches in the matrix, man. It's not gonna work. People that gonna hate on you, gonna be close to you. They're mad because you're actually doing something. They can't figure out what they want to do enough to even begin doing it.
Man,
You just can't let it bother you.
that just you talking about that made me think of like my best friend from like middle and high school, and I remember he used to call me tits all the time. Actually, when we were in middle school, he used to bag on me. He was like, "Hey, what's up, tits?" Every day. That was my
Mm-hmm.
best friend. That was the kind of positive reinforcement I was getting. But but I remember it was like that was like around the time I met him, like when I guess we were probably in like 6th or 7th grade. And I remember one day he said that to me. I was like, "Oh yeah, whatever." And he was like, "Dude, you're supposed to do it back. Like, you're supposed to make fun of me. I make fun of you. You make fun of me. That's what friends do."
Yeah.
And that was funny because that actually like it probably turned me into a real asshole. Come to think of it, but but
Ain't nothing wrong being an asshole,
well, I
man.
just mean, well, yeah, they usually get the best things in life. They overlook a lot
Yeah.
of things though. But I will say it toughened me up to a lot of things. It made my skin a little bit thicker, which was
Mm-hmm.
something that was going to be way more important to me than I realized. But not only that, but it makes it really easy to spot the difference between somebody being a dick online because they're insecure with themselves, and then being
Mm-hmm.
able to see the difference of somebody being critical of you because they care about you. And
Yeah, like doing the dozens kind
right,
of.
because that's something that I think.
Like, boy, get an edge up. What is you doing out here? Like, come on, dog. You like a dustpan. Like, you know what I'm saying? Tell him that to encourage your friend to step his game up. I know what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, there's a difference, and I think most people have they've got a bullshit meter where they can detect the difference. Thankfully, some people don't,
Mm-hmm.
and they end up with a bunch of pieces of shit around them. And then some people are a
Mm-hmm.
little too sensitive, and they only want hype men. Uh, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, the support group that's super important, and being able to tell the difference between positive criticism and people just hating for no reason. But
That's actually a really good point too, because like even more so, like being that you say that, even more so than people like who sit around and hate and that being an issue, you know, we also got to make sure we don't enable the people around us too. For real, for real. Like we got to make sure if somebody is doing something they shouldn't be doing, you can't just sit idly by and like let them, watch them ride a $150 on the highway to hell, and you just sitting there chilling because you don't want to hurt their feelings because you know what I'm saying.
yeah,
You got to step in, bro.
nah,
Like just as much as you got to fuck off, you also got to step in because that's the opposite side of it. That's also very very
yeah,
important
and people.
because ain't nobody ever told me I was fat. Like Everybody was cool with
I
it.
said
And
that
like,
to my
I'm not
sister
saying that.
when I hit like 255 the first time when I started losing weight. I saw her again. I had dropped 20 pounds, and she's like, "Whoa,
Mhm.
you lost a lot of weight." And I was like, "Hey, thanks. By the way, fuck you for not telling me I put on a bunch of weight. Like you
Yeah,
did.
facts. Like, what you mean I lost
Yeah, I
weight? Like,
put on 50 pounds. You didn't say shit. I'm not even halfway back." Like,
I remember being like, and it's cool. I understand because people love you.
oh
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? They
no,
don't hurt
she's
your
my
feelings.
sister. I love the
But it's
shit out
like,
of her.
man, I was telling people like, yeah, I'm fat. I say, no, bro, you're not fat. I'm like, dog,
Yeah,
like,
I ain't blind.
dog.
Like,
I mean, bro, you're not. And it's like, yeah, I understand, bro. I'm not as big because even when I was at my heaviest, I was still pretty agile for a fat guy. You know, I could still like keep up. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? But I'm like, bro, like. I'm fat, dog. Like, it's okay. Like, you ain't gonna like, no, bro, you don't understand. Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. I know dudes way bigger than you that got all the girls. Like, no, that's not the point, bro. I'm fat,
Right.
though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I'm still fat, though. It's like, you know, I understand, you know, you gotta love people, but if your friends got thick enough skin to take it, bro, like you ain't gotta be like, hey, yo, my nigga, like, come on, you gotta do something about this. Like, you heavy as shit. Like, you ain't gotta do like that. You can just be like, so you doing all right, bro? You know, you know, or be like, you wanna hit the gym with me? Like, or, you know, like, yo, you should stop eating cookout. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, cause when I was out here drinking 340s a night and going to cookout, running the check all the way up, $12 on the fucking $12 on the $5.99 plate. Well, nobody telling me to stop. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just going and going and going and going, and everything was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like at a certain point, you got to be like, bro, like maybe you shouldn't do that.
Right. Yeah, don't
And maybe they might get mad at you for a second, but you got to at least plant the seed because when they finally do decide to actually do something and actually do like change their situation, they're gonna thank you for it.
right. And that's the thing. If you actually stick it out with somebody to watch somebody make a positive change, they will like invariably they will turn and be like, "Oh shit, you've been telling me that all along." And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, sometimes you give people the tough advice and they push you away. Which is unfortunately, I mean, when I was dealing with addiction, that was I saw the other side of that too, where I remember after I
Mm-hmm.
got myself cleaned up, there was a girl that I cared a lot about, not romantically. I just knew her for a long time, and I
Mm-hmm.
remember she hit me up one day, and then she's like, "Yo, wait, are we not friends on Facebook anymore?" I was like, "Hell no, we're not friends on Facebook. I'm tired of you popping up on my news feed. Like, you can still message me. You can
Mm-hmm.
see that you can still message me." She's like, "Dude, that's kind
Mm-hmm.
of fucked up." And I was like, "Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't watch you kill yourself anymore." Like I was like, I got out of it. And I'm kind of getting a little more perspective, and it's the hardest thing in the world watching you every week. I see you slowly killing yourself, like every time I get
Mm-hmm.
online. And yeah, that's the last time I spoke to her. It's really, really sad. Like really sad. I actually thinking about it right now kind of fucks me up a little bit. But
It's rough, but sometimes you got like, and as bad as it sounds, sometimes you got to take a step back. Like, there's a lot of people like I'll kind of just stop talking to, where it's like I'm not gonna necessarily say, see, similar to the way you said, there are people that have said things here and there, or maybe somebody should say something and like you, whole time, like you were saying the whole time. Like my best friend Max, like he's been telling me for years on years on years, like, cause he used to get all the girls. I get girls now. It's like he used to get all the girls and stuff. And I'm like, man, bro, I don't see why. You know what I'm saying? I ain't like in my bag like you in your bag, whatever. He used to always tell me, it's like, bro, like I'm in my bag. He's like, but you got a different bag. Like he's like, you don't understand. Like people care about you in a way that certain people will just never care about me that much. You know what I'm saying? Like people are gonna see you as important. Like people influence you. Like he's like, you're not there when I'm in the room and you're not there. He's like, when you're not there, all people do is speak highly of you. Like all people do is talk about like, oh, hello, Chuck, la, 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 and they just boost you the whole time. And I'm in the room and I see that. He's like, so when I come home and you over here downing yourself, it's like, bro, you just don't even know like how much people out here love you. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, you know what I'm saying? I can't see it. And then once I finally started doing what I've been doing in the past 2 years, like doubling down, being more self-confident and trying to be an influence out here, I realized what he was talking about the whole time. Like, yeah, people do love me a little bit more because of the weight loss and everything, but people love me like that the whole time because people like me for who I was as a person. And I couldn't, like, it's like going back to what we were talking about earlier with the whole self-confidence being all in your head. I couldn't see outside of my insecurities to realize how much love I actually had around me. And I say all that to say I had to step away from people too, because once I could see that, and once I actually started understanding and paying attention to the people that love me, I decided, yo, I'm not standing around these people that don't care about me no more. The people that talk to me and like don't really like care, like, you know what I'm saying, where were you when I needed you, like those kinds of people, or people that can decide when they do and when they don't want to be there for me, or when they do want to respond to me, or even certain people where they were in bad, tough, rough parts of their life, and I was there with them, like, you know, being putting my all into being there with them through thick and thin. So they knew if nobody else was there for them, I was there for them. And while I was there for them, they would do me dirty.
Right.
And it's like, yo, I'm not doing it no more. I don't deserve that.
Yeah.
There are too many people out here that love me for me to be sitting out here putting energy into somebody who doesn't care about me at all. And once you remove yourself from those people, you start realizing how blessed and how much good you have going for you, because you're finally not sitting back and just being around these people that make you feel like shit. You realize you're not a piece of shit. They're a piece of shit. They just treat you like one.
And that's I think a lot of people lose that that you know, like, you don't have to save everybody. You only have to save one person, and it's
Fact.
okay if that one person is yourself. And I mean, that's
Fact.
people really don't know that the best way to help everybody is to help yourself first, and you know, put on your own oxygen mask before you start looking around trying to save everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And
Facts.
and another thing too, you talk about people speaking highly of you, caring about you, and I mean, it's really easy for people to, like, you know, when, especially when when you're kind of a bigger guy, you know,
Mm-hmm.
when you're somebody, other dudes don't look at you as they don't look at you like competition. They just look at you like, you know, they care about you, especially when you're
Yeah.
funny. Like, they really they got no reason to hate on you, which in a
Yeah.
weird way kind of makes it easier trying to network positively, like in a social environment. And
Definitely.
and I mean, you obviously connect a lot of people through your humor and stuff, like on your Facebook page, dude. I mean, some of that stuff is just absolutely hilarious, and seeing the memes and all that. Yeah, people
Mm-hmm.
definitely look up Chuck Nasty of GRYSCL, Chuck Smith, whatever. Like, look it up so you can find these memes. They are fire. And
Absolutely. And it ain't even about, and like you saying the whole thing, I like to try to tell people where it's like, I say all this because I gotta, you know, acknowledge it as being a thing, because like it's a thing at this point. And if I can use it being a thing to help other people out, it's cool. But it's like, I don't I don't really give a shit about the whole people fucking me that heavy and looking highly up. Like, every time a girl tells me I look good, I tell her, I'm like, ah, I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. Like, I got, like, oh, but you look good though. You lost a lot of weight. I'm like, yeah, but I still got more to lose. So yeah, but you look great though. Come on, shut up. You know you look great. I get on their nerves because I don't ever take the compliment, because I'm like, I still got things I want to get out of. I don't do it for the clout. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I'm glad you noticed that, and if it's going to help you to be better, that's cool. But I'm not doing it for you to compliment me. I'm not doing it for you to look highly on me. It's like, I'm just doing it so maybe you can see me. I'm trying to be a totem of confidence, where if me being confident and you seeing me this highly, hopefully that'll make you realize that what is inside of yourself, and elevate yourself to that same position. Because I ain't no better than nobody. Until they want to argue about who's better, then I'll, you know, maybe we can talk about
well,
who's
I
better.
think the reason why a whole lot of people, like, aside from the fact, generally speaking, when you've got somebody who did put on a lot of weight, they usually have a reason, like either like lifestyle habit, or that maybe they're sad
Mm-hmm.
about something, maybe they, you know, maybe they lost something, they haven't realized they lost it yet, whatever it is. When those people start losing weight and you start to see people make as much progress, especially like you have, like, I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
fucking 360, like, I mean, dude, seriously, like, you are jacked, dude. And it's awesome because it is really inspiring. And I think
Yeah. Thank
the
you.
reason why that memes, like the reason why weight loss journeys are shared a ton on Instagram and Facebook, and like that's like a huge subcategory of YouTube, is just people who lost a bunch of weight. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason is, I mean, if you're already skinny, you know, it feels nice to see somebody taking care of themselves. If you value that, like, you know, taking care of yourself, it's nice to see other people come across the lines and start
Mm-hmm.
taking care of themselves. But on the other hand, too, if you're somebody who maybe isn't taking care of yourself, maybe, you know, should be thinking about that, and you're not, when you see somebody who was like over the line, like, I mean, same as every, like, I don't know, like, I don't know if you're religious, but like, you know, when people preaching about like, well, I was a drug addict and now I'm a man of God, or like, yeah, I weighed
Yeah.
350 pounds and I've lost 100 pounds and now I'm fucking jacked. Like,
Yeah.
for me, when I was like 260 pounds and I was like, It's time for me to get in shape. It's time for me to lose weight. The people that I could look to for inspiration, they were way farther in the wrong direction than I was. It made it seem like
Yeah.
for me it was going to be easy, and
Mm-hmm.
on top of that, I had some other little things I was succeeding at. I put my mind to school. I do well in school. Put my mind to work. I do well at work, and it made it for me. It was like, dude, every time I put my mind to something, I fucking slam dunk. So I don't see any reason why I can't start to get in shape. And I've still got a long way to go, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any signs of slowing down. I'm not getting bored with it, and I think that
It's always something else to do, man. It's always another way to do
right,
something.
and there
And like you said earlier, you saying just I wanted to interject real quick. You said every time you put your mind to something, you slam dunked it. And people don't people I tell people stuff to do stuff all the time. And one of the biggest things I hear is like, man, bro, it's not that simple.
it
It
really
is.
is, and
It really is.
like, and it sounds so arrogant and cocky if you don't have that mindset. When it's, oh yeah, dude, if I put my mind to something, I know I'm gonna crush it. I'm gonna be better than everyone else in the room at it, and that bothers people, like, to hear you say that. But the truth is, like, it's really just a matter of switching your brain in that direction and to start working to solve problems instead of make problems. And once
Mm-hmm.
once you get in that mindset, start knocking down goals one and two at a time. And yeah, I mean, I hate to sound like an asshole, but yeah, if people like I mean, there's some things, if you got hit in the head really hard, maybe don't try and be a fucking like surgeon. But
Yeah, yeah. You can't you
right,
can't you can't do anything you put your mind to, but you could do most reasonable things. You put your mind to it, you can do like I'm a big comic book guy. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the main if I'm being honest, one of the main reasons why I'm trying to be cut for real, other than losing weight, is because like I'm trying to be like I'm a re like I'm right now I'm like I rebranded from like the fat hippie joyous guy, and now I'm like the positive goth thought. So once I really trim down to like 235, I'm about to get on my I'm gonna still be the positive goth thought, but I'm gonna have an alter ego, Captain Black America, and I'm trying to get the suit with the shield, like all that. Like, cause I used to perform in a Batman suit way back in the day. It's a whole nother podcast, I guess. But it's like I'm trying to get the suit and the shield and like do like athletic things and like be like a
I saw
superhero,
you
basically.
wearing
Like
the
I've always,
Black Panther necklace on, like, I think it was your Facebook story. Yeah.
yeah, I wore that joint last night too. I was because it's like I'm into that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you can get in superhero shape, bro. And then there are things, man. You may not be able to ever to like stick the walls, or climb walls, but like back when I was fat, I used to do parkour and I learned how to do a Kong vault. You know what I'm
Oh hell
saying? Like
yeah.
I realized back then, there's things you can do. It's like I'm trying to be the closest to like superhero ability physically that I can possibly be. And not even with just like physically, but also in life, mentally, emotionally, and like you saying, if I'm religious, whatever. I am religious just to get a little thing inside there. But I'm not super religious, but I would consider myself, I guess, a Christian Buddhist. And when I say that, I mean I look up to Jesus because I feel like Jesus lived a path, like not. And when I say this, people are like, "Oh no, here this nigga go." Like, bro, I'm not talking
We're
about.
50
I'm not
minutes
talking
in. If
about
they're
the.
still listening, they give a shit what you have to say.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, I'm not talking about the way your aunt in church talks about it, or your pastor, or like, bro, why are you getting tattoos? The Lord gave you a good set of skin. Why would you sully it? Like, I'm not talking about that. I don't believe in none of that dumb shit. I don't think I'm going to hell because I say fuck. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's that deep. Like, yo, when Jesus was around, fuck wasn't even a word.
Right.
So how you gonna sit there and tell me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, thou shalt not curse means thou shalt not wish ill, like curse people, like
Right.
damn
Like,
people
God,
through
I hope you
something.
get sick and die. Like, no, no, yeah,
Yeah, you know
don't.
what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't be that ill will. But it's like
Right.
I believe that all Jesus did was try to help people out.
Right. Well, I mean, that's the
And
funniest thing about like atheists or like people who just like hate Christianity in general. They're like, "Oh yeah, you like the Bible? Like what's that shit all about?" It's like, "Well, it's about a guy who went around and helped poor people and sick people and marginalized
they
people and
blame
try to lift them up." So, like, yeah, like
they blame the religion because of the people who practice it.
right.
And I don't think that's
Yeah, the
fair. But I understand. I understand that people are assholes that are Christian. But it's like, bro, don't judge Jesus by his followers, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because not everybody, they're not doing it correctly anyway. But Jesus had a fatal flaw. He was too nice. He was too willing to give up everything to save everybody, and he did. And look at everybody now; they still don't know how to act. So I can't. I believe in him to a point, you know what I'm saying. But also I believe in Buddha, and I first learned about Buddha when I was in honors world history, and I learned about the Eightfold Path. And one quote specifically that he said, "Desire is the source of all suffering." And I was like, yo, like, when you really sit back and think about that, it's true. Like when we were talking about earlier, like, you know, dudes chasing girls and trying to feel their self-esteem and they trying to fill the void and they can't. That's why you're suffering, bro, because you desire too much. You know what I'm saying? And there is a lot of things in the Eightfold Path I recommend people to do. Like Buddha just seems like the funny fat guy or whatever, but it's like if y'all can check out the Netflix documentary of like Buddha. Like Buddha was basically just Jesus, but he was on the West Side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and his whole thing was self enlightenment, self fulfillment, like finding peace within yourself and being okay with yourself. And I fully believe in that. I feel like Christianity treats you how, like, Jesus teaches you how to treat other people. Buddha teaches you how to treat
That's
yourself,
actually a beautiful way of
basically.
putting it. That's spot on. I've met maybe I think only one other person who told me that they were a Christian Buddhist, and they also like I mean they did a pretty good job of explaining how since Buddhism is a technically like a non-theological religion, there's no God of Buddhism because in
Mm-hmm.
Buddhism you are God, which is why you have to take care of yourself. And for that reason, as long as you don't take the word God too literally and start talking about the Ten Commandments and shit, basically
Mm-hmm.
the two do work together. And yeah, that's a perfect way of putting it. That Christianity is about loving your community and loving your neighbor, and Buddhism is about loving yourself and taking care of yourself. And you clean up
Because
your own
Christianity is
backyard
flawed.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like Christianity. See, here's the problem with Christianity. Christianity does not teach you how to deal with anything you're going through. Like that's the only problem. Like, it teaches you what you should do and what you shouldn't do, but it doesn't teach you what you should do in a immense amount of stress. Like when your back is against the wall or you feel a certain way and you can't stop feeling that way, it doesn't tell you to do anything but have faith and
right.
pray. Everybody can't
Yeah,
do that.
Christianity pretty much just says, like, give it up to God and pray and then just keep moving forward. Which I mean, that is good advice to a certain extent, but then like on the other hand is like you can't like pray to God that you're gonna lose 100 pounds. You gotta like get out of
Yeah.
bed and go for a run. Like lose your keys, walk
Like
to work, like do something.
Buddhism teaches you what to do. Like it's like two thing, another thing, in addition to the desire is a source of all suffering thing, and then also you got to look at the parallel between Christianity and Buddhism, and they on the same what the devil is desire in Christianity, and in Buddhism, desire is the source of all suffering. The devil doesn't make you do anything. The devil just tells you that it's okay to give into your desires. You as a Christian have to control yourself and not go off the deep end and do fuck shit to do it. Now the devil never told you to do that fuck shit. It's like if you want that girl, you should get that girl. Ain't nobody tell you to rape her though. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's on you. It's like the devil doesn't even like he doesn't tell you to do anything. He just tells you it's okay to give into your desires. But you got to understand that the desire is going to lead you down a
Yeah,
path
desire
where
is
you may lose
desire
control.
is a deep, deep, dark well. And I mean, a little bit is good. That's sometimes that's the motivation that keeps you going. Like, I mean, especially, fuck, if you're working a job that you hate, I feel so bad for people that work jobs that they like really, really can't stand. Because
Left
I
foot
mean,
life.
because truthfully, I mean, especially you work an hourly wage, you're renting your time and your dream out to somebody else's business. And so, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you got to take care of your family, you got to take care of yourself. So, in a way, like, you got to do that, and that desire for, want to go on that vacation, or gotta finish paying off
Mm-hmm.
my car, or whatever. That can keep you going, and that can be a good thing. But yeah, like you said, I mean, if
Mm-hmm.
you let desire run away with you, I mean, it can turn you into a ugly monster of a person. So I mean, there is a good and a bad in everything. I mean, there are people who work out too much. So I mean, there
Yeah.
it is what it is. A complex world, but yeah, I think that those are those two theologies or lifestyles, between Buddhism and Christianity, it can though there's definitely a lot to be learned from both of those.
And like, because I went on a whole rant, but I ain't say it. Another thing I learned in Buddhism from that same class was he was saying, Buddha said that in order to find happiness within your own situation, you must first stop comparing your situation to others. And that's something else that people don't understand. Like, look, I lost weight, right? I don't look at somebody that's dumb, jacked, and like feel bad about anything. I compare myself to how I used to look. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I got a girl in my life or women in my life that actually care about me and love me, and like whether that be like a girlfriend situation or a friends with benefit situation, I don't look at somebody else's girl and be like, damn, why can't I have her though? It's like, no, I got a girl right here that cares about me. It's like you got, like, once you start wanting what other people got instead of appreciating what you have, that's the issue too. And it's like Christianity never taught me that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it never taught me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess a big like parallel that people say, the grass is greener on the other side because you don't water your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like that same exact perspective. It's like, bro, it really teaches you like to stop looking at everything else and wanting it, because that's not going to lead you anywhere. You got to look at what you got and improve with what you got, and you'll be fine. And when things get tough and you get into situations, like, sit back and remember, like, let's say you mess with a couple girls and then your homeboy bags a bad junk. Bro, she may be bad, but she probably ain't shit. She probably about to be annoying. She probably stupid as hell. She probably don't even give a fuck about your homeboy. She probably only fucking him because he looked cute that night. So why are you now saying, oh, I want to get with her? Like, it doesn't matter, bro. Like, let it go, but and appreciate. Think about the time when you ain't have nobody. Now you got somebody. And now you got somebody, and now you want something else. Like, come on, bro. Like, you got to appreciate what you got. And Christianity never told me that.
At best, it's like, don't covet your neighbor's wife. It tells you not to. It tells you not to. It doesn't tell you why. Like, it doesn't tell you why it's important to just focus on your own shit. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot to learn. There's definitely a lot to learn there. But at this point, I don't want to go too much longer. Usually about an hour, I think, is about as much as people really want to hear my voice. But but Chuck, yeah, we definitely got to do this again sometime, man, because I feel like we barely scratched the surface of the kind of thing that you can share with everybody. Because honestly, man, I think you got some really good shit going on over there.
I appreciate it, man. I already knew I got in my bag earlier, and that was only 24 minutes. I'm like, oh yeah, I was like, yeah, it's about to be one of them. But I really appreciate you, like, let me get on here and talking my shit. And, you know what I'm saying, hopefully I can stimulate, some positivity out there and make y'all realize that you do matter. Stop caring so much about somebody else. You are all you need. If you believe in yourself, you can achieve, and stop wanting shit you can't fucking get.
That's definitely the truth. And well, I mean, I guess I don't really have much left to add on to that other than the new song. This is it's Hell by Chuck Nasty, or otherwise Chuck Nasty of GRYSCL. And again, the song
featuring Sean King. Young Ramen. He got a tape out right now called Noodles for Breakfast. It's on Spotify and everything as well. And you can find this song all over Spotify as well. So Spotify, anything. And not just Spotify. I just like Spotify. I pay for Spotify. But you can find it on Tidal, all that shit.
Well, I'll make sure to include the links. So anybody check out the links below, so that way you can find Chuck, you can find GRYSCL, you can find the Facebook, Spotify, Instagram, all the links you need, so that way you can connect with GRYSCL's music. So again, this is Chuck Nasty of GRYSCL, and the song is Hell. And thanks for listening.
What could I run to? Take a beating, we chop it like it was kung fu. Think I mastered the art of war like a sun too. Fit the presence of God because I'm the son too. But she love you and then they try to become you. Say she love me, I fuck her like she the one too. Get it till 3 in the morning and come through. Passing out in the pussy and then I come to. Hide the pussy and break it into the late night. Got a bitch every hour, I call it day night. Quite a river every day, but on the 8th night, I decided to dive in it like a great white. Never was suicidal, but that I hate life. Still do, but people love me, so I'm still here. Keep up on my depression, I guess I'm still here. Thought it was my anxiety, but it's still fear. I gotta chill here. All my cities burning down, my old person, no hills in town. Lost my just can't get a call through. Asked if I wanna hit it, I said it's all you. Heard you fucking it too, my nigga, it's all you. And I ain't sharing the pussy because it lacks worth. And give a shit if she love me or if I clap first. I got a lot of game, but I ain't got it backwards. Cause she a terrible liar and I can act worse. Think it's all in my head like I'm Donnie Darko. Although we in between the lines of the barcode. It's like a bitch is just a nigga trying to harpo. Defining me, Baba Jilla became Marco. Try to stop me is funny because it won't stop. Try to break me is funny because it won't break. Slaying all of the demons that mean he won't face. The only person you met that you know you won't hate because it won't fade.
All my cities burning down, my old personal hills in town. Lost myself and all I found. Can't stop myself from falling down. All my cities burning down, my old personal hills in town. Lost myself and all I found. Can't stop myself from falling down.
I was way too dark to see the light. Gave it all I had and did it twice. I could lose a friend but not my life. Sneaking in your crib to stay the night. I was gone before the sun was up. Busting nothing, leave you feeling stuck. Can't believe your man ain't know what's up. Pick you up from work so we could you know what I came to do and say. Wanted more, I know you wanted too. Call me when you need me in your space. Pull up with the condoms to your place. I'm alive but in my heart I'm dead. Bring me back to life with all this head. Feelings had me going to a ledge. This right here might push me to the